Welcome to the Museum of Fine Arts and the Houston A+ Challenge Speaker Series. My name is Jason Moody. I am the manager of studio and gallery programs here at the museum, and I am happy to welcome you on behalf of the museum. It is a great pleasure to sit in the same room with some innovative thinkers and some educators and those of you that are supporting education, and you all are my favorite people. As a former teacher, someone that came out of the classroom and felt like there was not a lot of support there, it's great to see that there are folks that are supporting and that are willing to go that extra mile and get up really early and to come to the Museum of Fine Arts and to listen to this. We're so grateful for you and for everything that you do here. I have the opportunity to work with A+ and A+ Up, the school, in many different capacities, and what a great opportunity to experiment and to see what can happen in education. So this is a great opportunity for us. But I'd just like to welcome you all here, and I won't eat up all of your time because I know that you have a wonderful treat this morning. But I wanted to turn the time over to Karen Rawls to talk with you and to, again, welcome you from Chevron.
Good morning. I see some new faces and met some nice people this morning. I'm Karen Rawls of Chevron Public Affairs. And on behalf of the 10,000 Houston-based employees and contractors, we want to welcome you to the A+ Challenge Speaker Series. The Speaker Series is designed to bring some of the most influential educators and thought leaders to Houston, to bring a diverse perspective on the importance of education and the relevance of STEM. This morning you will hear a very refreshing perspective on the collective how to prepare students on the evolving world of STEM. And to kick off this morning's session, I'd like to bring up Executive Director of A+ Challenge, Dr. Scott Van Dyke.
Well, good morning, everybody. So 3 years ago, I think it was, I was on the phone with Mike Feinberg at about 1:30 in the morning, and we were having a conversation about whether it was the right time to move teaching and learning models from the factory more into the information age. And I remember Mike 3 years ago said, I don't know whether the technology is ready for that type of responsibility. And I thought that was a really good point back then. I just returned from a conference in Phoenix. Actually, Andy was at the conference, and sponsored by Arizona State University. And I walked away from that conference thinking, we talked about the wrong question 3 years ago. Not are we ready, but why are we so late? And I would challenge all of you to take a look at how your children that you love, are choosing to learn. Not necessarily how they're learning inside of their traditional classrooms, but outside of those classrooms, the choices that they're making in terms of their learner modalities. And so I think it's appropriate this morning that we end our 2014-2015 Chevron A+ Speaker Series with Andy Calkins. The last speaker, Tom Vander Ark, at lunch after the morning speaker session, he said, you're in for a treat with Andy, because if I'm taking a look at things at 30,000 feet, Andy is right on the ground. And that's really the purpose of Next Generation Learning Challenges, is not only to be on the ground to know what are the best next steps for teaching and learning, may I say, in the cloud, but also to start building those connections. And so it's very appropriate that a group like Houston A+ is building that's been building connections and networks across the Houston region for now 20 years, reached out to Andy. Andy has a interesting background. I was reading his bio last night. One of the things that I had forgotten about is that Andy spent time at Mass Insight. And Mass Insight is a think tank, a working group that actually Houston A+ Challenge has learned a lot from over the last 5 to 10 years. He has foundation experience, so folks that are supporters of information age teaching and learning have a tremendous trust in his abilities and his decision making. This is the last event of this speaker series, but I'm glad to announce that thanks to Karen and Joni Baird, Chevron has re-upped on their commitment. So the speaker series will come back in 2015-2016. We are busily thinking about the speakers to bring in. But as I was driving in this morning, I really think that this has become your speaker series. And so I know Kat White, who's the Director of Communications, and I want to thank Kat for all of her hard work on this season's series. She'll want to hear your ideas. I think where we're moving, though, as an organization, you are going to hear less and less from traditional speakers around teaching and learning at the speaker series. A+ Board is committed to pushing away from standardized learning and starting the community in a conversation around personalized learning. And I think that's what makes me, after 30 years, quite honestly, hopeful that we can get this better for kids, particularly poor kids and urban kids in Houston, Texas. So I'm really excited that Andy's here with us, and without further delay, I introduce you to Andy Calkins, Director of Next Generation Learning Challenges. Andy?